Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. In this video I'll give you 5 facts about the underappreciated civil rights hero, Claudia Jones. Claudia Jones was born Claudia Vera Cumberbatch in Trinidad and Tobago in 1915. In 1924, at the age of 9, Claudia and her family immigrated to the United States to find a better life. So this brings me to fact number 1. So despite being one of Britain's most famous civil rights heroes, Claudia actually spent a large portion of her life in the United States. Claudia grew up in Harlem, New York, where she faced overt racism and sexism. Despite being a very intelligent young woman, Claudia did not attend college after high school due to a lack of financial resources. But a lack of formal education did not stop her from engaging in some pretty high-level conversations at the time, which brings me to fact number 2. Claudia Jones joined the Communist Party in 1936 and became a writer for one of its major publications. Claudia joined the Communist Party as a reaction to the case of the Scottsboro 9. The Scottsboro 9 were a group of 9 African American males who were falsely accused and convicted of raping 2 white women in the South. As a member of the Young Communist League, which is a sub-organization within the Communist Party, Jones wrote for the Daily Worker, which was the main publication of the Young Communist League. To protect her identity, she began to use the last name Jones instead of Cumberbatch. This allowed her to speak publicly her communist views while also remaining anonymous. Within the article, she highlighted the struggles that many black women face at the time, facing both racism and sexism, along with economic oppression as well. Despite using the false last name, Claudia Jones was arrested multiple times between 1947 and 1954, during the period known as the Second Red Scare. This is the period marked by the crusade of Joseph McCarthy, a Republican senator, against what he saw as communist elements throughout society. This brings me to fact number 3. In 1955, Claudia Jones was deported from the United States for basically being a communist. Jones was deported under the McCarran Act, which prohibited seditious activities by foreign actors on U.S. soil. Because Jones never became a U.S. citizen, and because she was a member of the Communist Party, she was deemed to have engaged in seditious acts, and so as a result, she was arrested, put in federal prison, and then later deported. She settled in the UK in 1955 after being denied entry to the country of her birth, Trinidad and Tobago. And so while the deportation marked the end of her life in the US, it did not mark the end of her civil rights activities. In fact, this is actually why Claudia Jones is known as Britain's Black Heroes, because in the UK she became a very important writer and editor. In 1958, Claudia Jones co-founded the West Indian Gazette in Brixton in London with Amy Ashwood Garvey, the ex-wife of Marcus Garvey. Like the Daily Worker, the West Indian Gazette allowed Jones to speak on a wide variety of issues, in particular the problems of racism and sexism that was faced by black women. The West Indian Gazette lasted from 1958 to 1965, and it was during this period that Jones made her most notable achievement. Claudia Jones founded what would become the Notting Hill Carnival, the largest street festival in Europe. What led to the creation of the carnival was a series of riots, in particular attacks on the Afro-Caribbean community by white youth within Notting Hill. These attacks were a reaction to the influx of Afro-Caribbean immigrants in what was known as the Windrush generation, as well as anti-immigrant sentiment that was put forth from groups like the White Defense League. To try to ease tensions, Claudia Jones helped organize an indoor carnival that was actually broadcast on the BBC. This carnival would showcase Afro-Caribbean culture and bring members of the community, both the white and the black community, together in one place. While the carnival did not end the racial tensions entirely in England, it did help start a process of healing, which ultimately led to a lot of civil rights victories in the decades to come. And Claudia Jones never stopped fighting. She actually became friends with many civil rights leaders, both within Britain as well as from abroad. She met with W.B. Du Bois, Martin Luther King Jr., as well as the actor and activist Paul Robeson when they all visited Great Britain. Jones died on Christmas Eve in 1964, over a year after leading a march to the U.S. Embassy in solidarity with the March on Washington in the United States. She was buried in the Highgate Cemetery in London, where her grave is literally to the left of Karl Marx, which of course harkens back to her time as a communist in the United States fighting for civil rights. If you found this video interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if there are other civil rights figures you want me to talk about on this channel, please leave those suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.